Jorrel Hato will be moving to Chelsea, and now the personal agreement between the player and the club is done, and now it's Chelsea approaching Ajax as they negotiate for the young defender. And in our video today, we do an in-depth analysis of this player. In my transfer series, I talked about how Chelsea signed Xavi Simons, who would come in to ease the creative burden on Chelsea's number 10 Cole Palmer, as Chelsea are looking to strengthen so that they can compete on all fronts. Now, the signing of Jorrel Hato is coming in to actually ease the burden on Marc Cucurella. Please follow me on my socials, as you can see there. But Cucurella has been that player who has lacked somebody who can step in for him. And in our video today, I'm going to explain to you why I think Hato perfectly suits this role. Despite being just 19 years old, he's already been the captain of Ajax. That shows more about his mentality and his maturity. Now, when you look at his general profile, he's a player who can play as a centre back, as a full back, and as well as a left-sided midfielder, most predominantly a centre-back and a full-back, positions that Marc Cucurella occupies. Now, when you look at his statistics, I want you to notice something. Look at his contribution when it comes to passes, how he's so good at passing the ball from the back, which is one of the key things that Maresca looks for his defenders, and the way he's able to actually intercept the ball, and as well as his aerial ability, because that is what makes a good defender. His key strengths are his aerial duels, his passes, his key passes, that is his line splitting passes, and also the way he's able to carry the ball. But his weaknesses sometimes can be concentration, that can be attributed to age, as well as his crossing, though he's not such an advanced player. But before we start, do not forget to like, share, subscribe to this channel if you are new to get more insights on Chelsea related videos. So Marc Cucurella has been Chelsea's starting left back. Last season, he played so many games, both international and domestic games, and this has put Marc Cucurella on the red list, meaning that he can be sustainable to get hamstring injuries. And because Chelsea are going to play more competitive games next season, they cannot afford to actually play Cucurella in all those games. And Cucurella, who's been Chelsea's best left back, probably one of the best left backs in the world, will need somebody. So Cucurella's role at Chelsea was either playing as a wide left-sided centre-back, meaning that he tucks into the back line alongside Levi Colwill and Trevor Chalobah in that back line. And in this position, his main aim is to dominate that flank and help during build-up. But his most position that we've seen him is being used as an inverted fullback, playing alongside Moises Caicedo in that midfield and looking to dictate the game from there. But Maresca has even unlocked another avenue of Cucurella that we didn't know, actually using him as an underlapping fullback in advanced areas of the pitch. And we have seen even Cucurella contributing to goals and assists from this position. The role that Cucurella has been playing has been quite instrumental, finding himself in areas of the attack. And I did a video when I talked about Enzo Maresca's secret weapon, and I talked about the way he's using his fullbacks, meaning that he's using his fullbacks in areas where you don't expect him, making the fullback to be the player who's most available during attack, because he's the player who cannot be tracked. And Cucurella has perfected this role, knowing when to move from his defensive position to actually move to the attacking position and actually help the team. But do I think that Hato will be used in this position? No, I don't think so. But in this position, you can see that Cucurella offers something to Chelsea in attack that actually makes Chelsea's attack unpredictable. But because of the constant tracking, the constant running that Cucurella does, the age of the deputy to Cucurella needed to be so young. That means a player who can actually be an understudy to Marc Cucurella. and in comes Ajax young 19-year-old defender, Jorrel Hato. Now, Hato is a young player, but he's a player who's had 100 caps for his team, meaning that he's actually even played for the Dutch national team. And when you notice this, you notice that despite his young age, he has played a lot of football, putting him about a player who's much experienced. Now, Hato coming in to step into that role will be so interesting, in that he will be starting as a left back, most probably, and he can also deputize as left center back, but generally I think he's going to be deployed as a left back. And the main place he's going to be deployed is when a fullback from the right inverts in that midfield position, and Hato will be used into a more left-sided center back role, where he'll be expected to use his excellent passing range, his excellent line-breaking passes to actually play balls to the wingers, to the inside forwards, and to the pivots. He's also expected to dominate that flank and ensure that Chelsea are limiting the opposition progress in that flank. Sometimes he might also be deployed in that midfield alongside Moises Caicedo, where I said he is actually good. When it comes to passing, he's so good, so he can play there. And he can also learn positional awareness under Enzo Maresca. That means there's a lot of coaching, and considering his young age, he can actually be coached into this inverted fullback position. Without the ball, he'll be expected to dominate the left flank. I think his defensive work is quite great. As you can see from this clip here, he's actually dealing with one of the world's most dangerous wingers, and that is Barcelona's Yamal, who you can see that Hato is dealing with quite well. The way he's very composed under pressure is also something that is so good that he can actually look to work with, and the way he's able to carry the ball forward. And these are some of the things that will really help him to become a very instrumental player for Chelsea. And also his counter pressing, the way he's able to actually time his run. His space is also quite good because he's able to cover those spaces and deny the opposition that space to progress. And because of this position that he's occupying in, he can be so good for Chelsea in that role when he can step into those cup games, he can step into those FA Cup games that can allow Marc Cucurella to actually have the ability to rest. I know that despite he's still a young player and sometimes he is prone to make mistakes, but that is something that he can really work on. Another thing I like about him is the way he's so aggressive to step out and actually look to win the ball in higher areas of the pitch. And this is something that Cucurella also does. But with him, he's not quite a finished article. But you do understand that him being called by the national team is actually an indication that he's a young player who has the ability to actually be a good player in the future. So in that case, I do expect that he will actually contribute something to Chelsea. In attack, we have also seen him attempting shots outside the box. His heading has also been good, meaning that Chelsea are going to get a player who has a strong aerial threat. And I said this, that he has that strong aerial threat. When you look at his tackles, he times his tackles quite well with a lot of precision, knowing when to time the ball. The way he's able to wriggle out of pressure is also quite impressive. And the way he tackles ensures that Chelsea are able to stop attacks, especially in the flank areas. The way he wins the ball is so interesting. And this is an asset that Chelsea will possess next season. Having a quality left back who's able to step in and help Chelsea when they need to give some relief to Marc Cucurella. And this has also enabled Maresca now to go into the season much braver, in that he has a deputy to Marc Cucurella, who I think a lot of us were really asking for that. Now, what do you think about this signing? Leave your comments in the comment section area below. If you've stayed with us, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.